Isn't my hair just fabulous? It always stays down when I want it to. It actually did. Wow. What? Hi. How are you doing? Wait. Give me a second. Yo, it's your boy Joe, and it came to say you to watch my video, yo. So, we are back after a short hiatus. Yeah, I think I had decided that I know what you're gonna say already. I know what you're gonna say. He's already stopped doing daily videos. You said, oh, every Saturday, and then you didn't do it every Saturday. And then you said every Wednesday, and then the next Wednesday you said you were going to do daily videos, so that one flew out the door. Who cares about doing it on Wednesdays? I didn't change anything. It probably just made it worse, didn't it? Yes. But anyway, now you said it's daily videos, but then yesterday you didn't have a video. Well, I did say that, if there's literally no news, which I don't think there was really any news yesterday. Maybe there was something I missed. I don't know, but we've got some stuff to talk about. So let's get right into it, because come on, we want these to be less than 13 minutes. Come on. So the first thing, we have something very sad. And another actor has died this year, and they just keep dying. I don't know what it is. These male actors are just dying left and right, and it's happening to a lot of more older ones. And this one you might not know. I just happened to know him from seeing like clips or something from his movies from on TV or something. Seeing him a while, I was like, okay, who's this guy? He's in a lot of movies that I keep seeing. Who is he? And what was his name? His name is Gene Wilder. You might not know him if you're like me or younger, because he hasn't done a lot of work in the past kind of 20 years. So you might not have seen anything from him. I think he was most active in like the 80s or 70s, or maybe in the 90s, or maybe even before that. But you might know him from Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory as yeah, because he played Willy Wonka. I believe. I didn't see the movie, but it's all the internet stuff. But yeah, it's sad. It's very sad. And while I did know others like Alan Rickman, some of the others I didn't know as well. This guy, hearing that he died, it was just like, wow. He's dead. He's dead. Even though he hasn't done anything really. I mean, he was in like a show last year or something. I looked it up on IMDb to see if I was right, and I was right. I didn't know he had been in something. But even then, it's like we're not gonna be able to see him again. It's too bad. But we don't want to be too sad. So let's move on. But rip Gene Wilder. I hope your family does well and stuff. Your friends. So let's move on. Let's move on to some more different news. So of course I said I liked Legos before. I like merchandise and collectibles, and stuff like that. It's not toys. No. But we are going to cover some Lego news every now and then. I thought this one was a bit of a bigger news story, and it's about a Lego set that is probably one of the Lego sets that you might even know if you've never even bought a Lego set. and it has something to do with something that I probably have not really talked about, and just shot something. Let me show you how you shoot it. Did I shoot them both? No, I didn't. Supposed to. Give me a second. I'm a expert. Did you see that? Anyway, do you know what it is? Maybe you don't. It's Star Wars. Yes, Star Wars. So I like Star Wars as well. I also like Harry Potter and Lord of the Rings and other stuff that Lego has been sets up, and so I thought it was very fun to get, your favorite characters like Bilbo and Lego. Just thought it was fun, and another one of my favorite characters, Jar Jar Binks. Nah, so, okay. let's put that away for another day. As you can see, also the set is broken. One of the missiles will fire, the other one won't. I don't know why. But anyway, so the set we're going to talk about is, of course, a Star Wars set that is probably one of the most famous, and is the Death Star. It was $400, and it's been out for a while. It just recently got discontinued. There was no more of that, but it was being sold from 2008 till just recently, so it's been out for a long time, and I just noticed that this is not going to be a short one. This is not going to be a short one, guys. Buckle up where life doesn't give you seatbelts, but buckle up anyway, because this is going to be a long one. Hopefully, maybe. Anyway, if we got to the news, then it's my 4th day, guys. Cut me some slack, but I do think this one will be one of the better ones. So, because we're talking about everything, and we're not getting off topic and getting distracted. we still gotta keep it cringy, Okay. Get back to it. So anyway, so this Death Star was recently discontinued. And there were a lot of rumors that there was going to be a new Death Star. There were even rumors that it was going to be based on the Death Star from the I don't know if I used that right. Hopefully I did. But the Death Star in the new movie of The Force Awakens, which it's not really a Death Star, but it kind of is. So they could have made us of it, but it's so huge that like even the other one, like it's not really the size of what the Death Star would be. It's got like 3 levels, and each one you can like put your minifigures in, and there will should be a bit of room for because their heads don't hit the walls or anything. I mean ceiling. They could still hit the walls if they go like sideways. Anyway, so the new set, I was a little worried that, because the old set, it's such a classic set, but the new set, some people might be really disappointed with it. I'm okay with it, because if I ever want to get the set, I can kind of still get it, because the new set that they're coming out with, we've got some pictures from it now, and it's pretty much just an updated version of that set. It's still a Death Star. It looks pretty much exactly the same in the build. It's still got 3 levels. All the rooms seem to be the same. And a lot of the minifigures are the same too, only updated. So you've got like some stormtroopers, you've got all the cast, you've got C-3PO, R2-D2, Luke. You've got Luke in like his white stuff from the New Hope, and then you've got him in his black uniform from Return of the Jedi. You've also got him and Han Solo in their stormtrooper outfits. Then you've got Han Solo in his regular uniform that he wears in most of the movies. And Han Solo actually got a special hair mode that's made just for him, I believe, and it's going to be in this set. So that's really cool, because in the other set, characters, they were just like, oh, we used this hair before, it kind of looks like their hair, so we'll give it to them. Now he has his own hair. Chewie is much more detailed. Princess Leia is more detailed, and he maybe has a better helmet and stuff. Darth Vader has gotten a new mold for his helmet, and some of the other characters, or people like the Red Guards, I forget what they're called, the Emperor and Grand Moff Tarkin, some guards and stuff have all gotten updated minifigures. So it seems like it's going to be a really cool set, and yeah, I will talk about it and tell you about it, and say that if I'm going to get a Death Star, which I don't have the other one, so if I get this one, I won't feel really bad because it's pretty much the same build. And even if it's different, I bet I could make the old build as well, if I, got the instructions off the internet. So anyway, our next story is going to be a very not a bad topic, but a controversial topic. Yeah, I'm actually a really good speaker, guys. But sometimes I just can't think of random words. I don't know why. So there's controversy, maybe not really. It depends on if you like these animes, which I know none of you do. You only care about Legos. Let's bring it back. Okay. But not just anime, but we're going to do a double. We're going to put it into a collab between anime and video games. Why is that? Because they can do it. Now, also, of course, anime can be turned into live-action movies, or like the Ghost in the Shell movie, or there was actually a movie for one of these that I'm going to talk about, but it was only it was made by Japan. So anyway, of course, Japan is one of the biggest, if not the one who basically made the video game industry, and so a lot of video games are made in Japan. So it's no wonder that they might make video games based off of really popular anime, and that's what happened. And so we have two either out or coming out in the coming weeks or months. And so I'm going to talk about which one of these is better. So, what are these two animes and games? It's Sword Art Online and Attack on Titan. Now, most of you probably already have a favorite out of these, and it's most likely Attack on Titan, because I'm really, a lot of people have watched that, and most of the people that have watched it have liked it, whereas SAO has got a ton of haters. There are fans. It is really popular. Obviously, or else it wouldn't get a video game, or even multiple video games. There are multiple video games. But a lot of people hate it. So people probably say, well, the game is just going to be as bad as the anime. It's the same story, right? Right? Well, maybe you'll be surprised. So, we'll talk about both. So, the Attack on Titan game has, I'm not sure if it's out everywhere or in most, at least in English-speaking countries, or some English-speaking countries. But it's about. We've seen a lot of gameplay from different people, and we can kind of test what the game will be. And that is a game that people that like the anime or manga that was based on, or some of the other stuff, maybe not like the spin-off anime. It's different than that. But if you like the anime and you wanted a video game based on it, but you saw the 3DS game and you were like, get out of the way. We need a real console video game where we can attack titans. This is a good game for you. But for a lot of stuff, it's not going to be a good game. It can get repetitive because pretty much all you're doing is attacking titans the whole time. That's pretty much the game. I mean, it does follow the story of the anime, and I think it goes a little farther. It has some other stuff, some other missions, but pretty much it gets repetitive. Some of the stuff's not as good, I've heard, and yeah. But overall, if you've seen any of the gameplay from it, you know that it might get repetitive, yes, But if you're going to like rent it, if you can rent video games, I don't know if you can, or if you can get it for a cheaper price than $60. Yeah, it's video games cost a lot of money, guys. Not as much as the where you play them from, but still a lot of money. So for getting this game, I'm not sure. I certainly want to play it because I think just even if you play it one time, it'll be really fun because it won't be repetitive yet. You can just attack a lot and have fun. But if you're gonna play it like every single day, it's probably going to not be fun at some point. So you think, okay, I see where you're going. I'm gonna say the SAO game is better, Sword Art Online game, and it is. Maybe. okay. I can't choose. Okay, I really wanted to Attack Titans for a while. I was so happy that they made the game, and then I was like, will they make it bad? Will they make it bad? And even though it's a bit repetitive and the art's maybe a bit weird, I'm very happy with the game, and I think it is very good. The Sword Art Online game is a game that I never wanted. But I did watch some gameplay. I wasn't going to watch some gameplay. I was just going to say, oh yeah, it's awful. Or be like, wait, which one do you think is better? I don't know, but for the sake of actually having a conversation about it, at least with myself, with you, the person that's watching this, I watched some gameplay of it, and it's pretty much a JRPG, which is basically an RPG, a role-playing game made in Japan is a JRPG. And pretty much they have certain stuff like you can level up, you get weapons, you have like special powers that you can use, you fight a ton of enemies, there's bosses, and then there's a ton of enemies that you just keep seeing, and you can keep fighting them to get like money and stuff, and you can use the money to get, you know, weapons and armor and spells and healing potions and stuff, you know, all that cool stuff. If you've played, you know, like the Tales games or Final Fantasy, that's pretty much what all of them are going to be like. So it's pretty much like that, only with the characters from the anime in it. So you might think, well, that's not a great game, but it's not awful, because these games, you can make a ton of them, and they can be repetitive, but if you're okay with a certain amount of repetitiveness, then it gets to the point where you can have fun with these games, and just run around just attacking fairies or weird monstrous plants and goblins or something, and you can have fun. So I think that it really depends. I think that while the SAO game might be better maybe in the long run to get, if you just want to play it for hours on end and just, you know, and also you can play as multiple characters in both games. I believe you should be able to. I know in the Attack on Titan game you can, but I don't know about the SAO game. But you should be able to play out of all of them. That should be in the game, because it makes it better. So they could each get boring, but I think the Sword Art Online game could maybe hold you for a bit longer than the Attack on Titan game. I think that one might get a bit more repetitive faster. But hey, I haven't played any of them, so I don't know. So go buy both of them and then tell me. I'm not on the marketing team. I'm just telling you. I'm just telling you about the news. Both of these games are coming out. They're both video games based on pretty much anything besides video game original stuff. Usually aren't as good. Most anime video games are not amazing games. They're pretty simple. Like, if you like the anime and you're okay with just kind of mindless action type of stuff, then it's probably going to be okay. But if you want like the amazing story from the animes and stuff, and like great art styles, and like, oh man, the art style's so beautiful. Oh man, it's just like The Journey. Wow. You know, you're probably not going to get that. You're probably also not going to get that with the How to Train Your Dragon video game or the Cars 2 video game. which I think are worse. But anyway, let's get to our big topic. This is gonna be a long episode. I knew, I was like, I can get through this easily. Nope. Nope. But anyway, let's try to get under 30 minutes, guys. We can do it. So the main topic. This is insane levels of hype. We got some DC news. Now, there is the whole front with the two main comic book publishers are DC and Marvel, and there's a rivalry with a bunch of the fans. Now, of course, I like both of them. I like both Marvel and DC. I've read a lot of both of their comics. I watched a ton of their movies. I watched their TV shows and stuff. I still do all that stuff. But there are some that I like better than others, especially the comics. I will say that I'm sorry, guys. This is my opinion, but I like DC comics better than Marvel's comics, because I just think that Marvel has made a lot of decisions to better their comics that I don't think have bettered their comics. Whereas DC has also maybe made some of those decisions, but I don't think they've hurt the comics as much in the history, especially since they keep rebooting. You can't really hurt something when you kind of just threw it all away, but now they've taken it back. So now they might, if they do anything bad now, then that might be bad. But they could just reboot it again and fix everything and just start over, which is great. But Marvel decided to reboot everything, but then not really. And there's a bunch of stuff. But anyway. I love DC. I want DC to do good, but of course DC's movies are not getting good reviews, even though a lot of people do like them and they are making money, especially Suicide Squad is making a lot of money. It's doing good, and I'm very happy for it, but it could have been a lot better, especially the critic reviews, which Marvel has now gotten the vast majority of. So Marvel is kind of, they're in the zone where pretty much critics are going to like their movies unless they're really bad, which maybe we'll have one. There's still one Doctor Strange, which is coming out later this year. It could be one of their worst movies ever, but I don't think so. I think it's going to do good. The critics just like their movies. DC, when they get to there, they can move their characters up even more into being top tier characters, but still they are. But they really need to work hard and get stuff. So I really hope they do it, because I want them to succeed so that they can bring more and more characters onto the big screen and get them known by everyone. Because it's weird that when you put them in these Hollywood movies, they become instantly way more popular. Like, you might think, oh, Iron Man, yeah, everybody knows Iron Man. 10 years ago, not a lot of people knew Iron Man. It wasn't until maybe even Avengers or the third Iron Man movie, maybe Iron Man 2, a lot of people knew who Iron Man was. They knew he was a superhero and everything. And so reading these characters like the Guardians of the Galaxy and Ant-Man that a lot of people didn't know before, but now everybody knows them. Even Doctor Strange come out. Not a lot of people know about Doctor Strange except comic fans and some, nerds and stuff. But after the movie comes out, he's going to be a character that is really popular, and everybody's going to know him. So it's just crazy, and it's not even in just. You might think, oh well, it's just like in the UK and the US. It's not everywhere. Some of these, they're everywhere. It's going to be popular. And that's just crazy. That you can just go other places and people might know what you're talking about when you talk about them. But anyway, we haven't even gotten to the main story yet. Wow. I just wanted to say that I really want DC to do good. This might be the turning point. Maybe not, but Ben Affleck today, who is directing the solo Batman movie and is Batman, and everybody likes him as Batman. Has released a video today that shows a kind of a fan favorite character that we have not seen in the movies before and could get this same treatment as becoming a character that is very, very popular and could be one of the best villains of all time, maybe. I'm just throwing it out there. Maybe not. But he very well could be, depending on how he's used and where he's used, and that is Deathstroke. So, if you don't know who Deathstroke is, but you know who Deadpool is basically a ripoff of Deathstroke. But there's more. There are different characters, but they're various. The main similarities are in their names, because there's Deadpool, Deathstroke, very similar, but their real names are also very similar. Deathstroke's name is Slade Wilson. Deadpool's name is Wade Wilson. One letter is changed. One letter. That's all. So it seems pretty obvious that Marvel copied him, but of course they made the character their own and made him popular. So DC, they need to get the original out there and get him popular too, because they're very different. Deathstroke, even though he is kind of an anti-hero too, he's a lot more of a villain. Pretty much he is a villain. So he is going to be the villain in the DC universe, or a villain in the DC universe. And how we found out a bit about this is that Ben Affleck posted a video, and it showed Deathstroke in this footage. And you see Deathstroke. He looks a lot different than we've seen him in. The TV show Arrow also had Deathstroke in it in the second season, but of course, even though that show is popular, it's not a movie level popular. So you can see that it's the suit and mask and stuff is a lot more, they had a lot more budget to make the costume look really good. And so everybody's freaking out because Deathstroke is going to most likely be in it. Now there's a chance. Somebody said that maybe he's just trying to mess with us, and Deathstroke's not going to be in there. But I think that's a very, very small chance. So Deathstroke, I think, is going to be in it. Now a lot of people are saying other stuff, and that's what we're going to talk about. A lot of people have already said, "Oh, he's in this movie. I know everything." The video was posted, okay? The video has no sound. You see Deathstroke, he kind of goes like, and that is the video, pretty much. Like he comes in, you see him, and then he comes closer, and like he turns a little bit, and then that's pretty much the video. Like you see him, but you don't really see a whole lot. So we can't really say what he's going to be besides he's in this universe, and we can kind of guess at stuff. So a lot of people are saying he's in Justice League because in the video he turns the camera and you're watching it on a screen, and he turns the camera and you can see behind the screen that you're watching on, like some green screen or stuff. So people are saying that they're on the set of Justice League and they probably filmed that scene, and he's showing that scene to to tell people, hey, Deathstroke's in the movie, isn't this cool? That very well could be true, but again, we don't know. A lot of other people are saying it's confirmed he's the villain for the Batman movie. We also don't know that, but it's a very good chance that he is, and I think that is a good choice because of course we just had the Joker as the villain, as the main villain recently, and so even though we have a new Joker, putting him in as the villain might not be the best option because he's the most known. You might want to put somebody else, and a person like Deathstroke, who he is more popular now because he's been in other TV shows even besides Arrow, like cartoons and stuff, and he's been in comics a lot. He has his own comic series. I don't know if it's still running, it might not be, but he did. And so he is more popular, but he's not to the level of the Joker. The Joker is really popular. and we are not gonna make it to 30, guys. Sorry, but anyway, Deathstroke is a really good character though to use for the villain, because you can use him as a good villain for Batman and make him a really cool character and do stories with him that you haven't done before. So I think that they have a really good opportunity here to use Deathstroke in a really good way, and I can't wait. I can't wait. We also don't know who's going to play him, although like Joe Manganiello or something like that. I know I said that wrong, but he is rumored to be him, and he has been rumored to be him for a while. And ever since Suicide Squad, he was supposedly supposed to be in Suicide Squad, and then he wasn't or something. I don't know. There was a bunch of rumors. But anyway, Deathstroke most likely is maybe in Justice League, in the Batman movie. He's in the universe, at least, though. We're going to see him in the universe. And that is very exciting. Now, if you're still, who is Deathstroke? Let's talk about more about Deathstroke. So Deathstroke is also known, and I have never really heard that, but one of the things that I was reading about, so he was Deathstroke the Terminator, and he is like an assassin kind of thing, so I could see why he would be called that, but most of the time he's just called Deathstroke, or Slade Wilson, or Slade. So his first appearance was in New Teen Titans #2, so not the original Teen Titans, like the #2, but the New Teen Titans, which was by George Perez and Marv Wolfman, who created the character, and I believe they created him in that issue, with the most popular version of the Teen Titans. So he was a Teen Titans villain, but later on he became more of a villain that just fought everybody, kind of like Darkseid, or Darkseid maybe you think he's a Superman villain or somebody else's villain, but he's come to where he fights everybody, and that's kind of Deathstroke, that he can fight Green Arrow, he can fight the Teen Titans, he can fight Batman, he's everybody's enemy. So you can use him in whatever way you want. You can have him fight Aquaman. That would be a really cool fight to see. Wonder Woman. The Superman. Let's not have anybody else fight Superman for a while, okay? Just rest Superman, okay? But Deathstroke. Man, it's gonna be good to see him. It's gonna be good to see him. So yeah. See. That's all. So, I hope you liked today. Today was a huge day. That was huge news. We got some other news too, some sad news, some interesting news and stuff. So join me tomorrow for probably less news, probably a lot shorter of a video. So I'll see you later. And yeah, goodbye.